It's been a long time since I made a video. Approximately 1 month has passed, but here I am in Mountain Home, Idaho. Only 45 minutes from where I now live, which is Boise, Idaho. So the reason it's been so long since I uploaded a video is because we've been going through the moving process and it's been really hectic and our house flooded. We're living out of bags in an Airbnb in Boise and it's just been a shit show. But I'm hanging out with Charles today. His shop is super close to where I'm living now, which is awesome, so I'll be here a lot. We're gonna be working together a lot more. Today, I'm gonna be doing something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and now that I live so close, I can do it more frequently, and Charles is probably the best teacher and has the best resources for this specific project, and I'm gonna start learning how to weld today. And if anyone wants to follow along with it and possibly watch the series and figure out how to weld yourself before you go out and buy a machine or whatever, then this will be perfect for you. I'm just excited to share the journey with you guys. This will probably be like a once every 2 weeks kind of thing. We'll do a video where we take the next step in the process of learning how to weld. Should go pretty smooth, and hopefully I can pick it up relatively quickly with Charles as a teacher because he's been doing it for so long. And with that, we will get started. If you have any questions about anything that you might have been wondering in the past month or so, then drop them in the comments and I will do my best to reply to everyone. But for now, this video is gonna be about the beginning of my journey when it comes to learning how to weld.
Okay, so just a quick rundown of what he's going to be learning today. We're going to be talking about gas tungsten arc welding, also known as TIG welding, tungsten inert gas welding. We're going to be running this CK Worldwide MT200 TIG machine, and we have a pretty basic setup on the end here. This is a CK number 9 TIG torch, has a long back cap, and it actually has kind of an aftermarket cup. Inside your TIG torch, you're gonna have tungsten. Tungsten comes in a variety of flavors and sizes. This is the one we prefer to use. This is the CK Worldwide Laser Tungsten in a 3/32 diameter. It's a really good all-around tungsten, especially for stainless. We really like it around here for that. Inside the torch, there's gonna be a collet and a collet body. And this, inside your TIG torch, you're gonna have 3 different things. You're gonna have your collet body. In this case, this is a gas lens collet body. You're gonna have your collet, which in this case is a wedge style collet. And then your tungsten, like we talked about before.
What do you call it?
This?
What do you call it?
A wedge style collet?
I was joking.
Oh, oh, what do you call it? I'm a fucking idiot. So this is your TIG torch all assembled with your collet body inside the torch, your collet inside the torch, and then your back cap pushing down on the collet, which is tightening up this tungsten. Now this tungsten is not sharpened, and it will need to be sharpened to a specific degree and angle and in a specific direction. Now this is not your typical tungsten grinding setup, but I've used this for years and it actually works pretty well. This is a regular cheap old grinding wheel that you can get from Harbor Freight or any hardware store or anything like that. I also like to put it in a drill because I get good concentric lines down the tungsten, grind marks down the tungsten. Should always be wearing safety glasses. Let me get some safety glasses. You always grind in line, like we talked about. So now that we have our tungsten ground, we can go reinstall this back in our torch. Stick out in most TIG torches is very important. In this case, this cup actually requires a minimum stick out of 3/4 of an inch, where traditional cups actually require you to have most of the tungsten in the cup and have very little stick out. We use this specifically to build manifolds and other stainless steel products that require a lot of gas coverage and good access into different spots. Turn on the old machine. Here on the machine, we have it set to 120 amps DC, and then we have no other settings on. We don't have any pulse. It's in TIG, not stick. And on the machine, we have a bunch of different dials and knobs, but the primary ones are the amperage, and in this case, post flow. I'm not gonna worry about any of the AC or any of the pulse frequency stuff. You have your TIG lead, and you have your ground lead. You also have your control pedal and your gas line. Down here, you want to make sure that your ground is on a good clean surface. So we're going to move this up here. Our foot pedal controls the amount of amperage. It also engages the gas flow, which is highly important. Now this thing is a lot like driving a car. The more amperage you give it or more pedal you give it will give you more heat input or overall power.
Technically, it's the gas pedal.
It is a gas pedal. This is the material we're going to be welding on today. It's a piece of 1018 hot rolled steel, just regular old mild steel. You have to remove this mill scale in order to properly weld this part. If you try to weld through this, you'll get a bunch of contamination and porosity in your weld. So we're gonna get this piece all prepped. I'm gonna show you what we're talking about when we remove that mill scale. And then if we were getting really anal about it, we would wipe everything down with acetone, including our filler rod and tungsten. We're not gonna do that today because we're just practicing.
So no anal today.
No anal. Now we have all our mill scale off and it's prepped and ready to weld. Again, if we were being really anal, no anal today, we would wipe this down with acetone. What we're gonna have Quentin do is we're gonna have him practice torch control and travel speed, as well as amperage control on the foot pedal. He's gonna position himself over the workpiece about 1/16 of an inch, and then he's gonna rock his hand back about 20 degrees. With TIG welding, we only push the puddle. We never pull the puddle.
You're pointing there, go there.
Yep. As he gets this puddle started, he's going to slowly ease onto the pedal and then learn to move that liquid ball of metal across the top of this part. 10. So you're going to put the torch in your hand and hold it like a pencil. So what you're going to do is you're going to position your hand in a fixed position over the workpiece. And then you are going to always come up vertically and then rotate your hand back that 20 degrees. What I want you to do at first is I want you to stay absolutely still. And big key part is don't push down on your arm. So the more you force down on your arm, the more you're gonna shake back and forth. So make sure you're relaxed and set up.
Back the pedal, like I'll hit it all the way?
Nope, like just barely enough to where it hurts.
Should I be 20 degrees or vertical?
So for this, just go ahead and be vertical. Keep going. Okay, keep going. More.
More pedal?
Yep. A little bit higher up. Move your hand. There you go. More pedal. Just put it on and hold it. There you go. Nope. Hold it. Don't let up. More pedal. More. Okay, see a little BB?
Yep.
That's the molten puddle. The other good rule of thumb is don't move your hand until you hear that gas stop.
Okay, so that little puddle is what I want to push around.
Yep. So you're gonna do a bunch of little puddles first, just being stationary, and then you try and move from puddle to puddle. More. And then when you ease off, practice slowly letting off the puddle, or the pedal.
Okay, well I basically just erased all the evidence of the work I've been doing on the grinder, but I was hitting all these little guys. I don't know if you can see that very well. But I'm gonna restart and start trying to do bigger ones, because Charles said these are too small, and doing longer ones around the outside and then just going inside and inside and inside. So far going pretty well, I think. Nothing too crazy bad has happened yet. Still got all my fingers. No burns. All right, here we are. The camera ran out of space and I didn't realize it had ran out of space. Just been going around the edge and trying to get more consistent with how far away I am from the piece of metal and how fast I'm moving. So just gonna keep going at it. Okay, slowly but surely progress is being made. You can see all the blue on there at the end of almost every weld. I have like a circle of blue around it. I realized that I was pulling the gun away way too quickly, so I stopped doing that. You can see kind of better results on these last two, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep going until I fill up this block, and then I'll probably clean it again with the grinder and then possibly weld something together, which will be fun. All right, so I got all the way to the end of this little task. There she is. Was definitely doing a little better towards the inside. We're gonna try to do a little something else and weld two pieces of metal together.
Is you're gonna clean this edge, all this mill scale off on both ends, all the way around, okay? Get it nice and clean. And you're gonna put a bevel on this because it's a pretty thick piece of metal. So we're gonna bevel it. Fusion weld this to this.
Alrighty. At a 45-degree angle, between this 90-degree angle of these two pieces of metal, put a tack here, flip it around, and two more tacks on the other side, and then we'll go from there. Didn't work.
Didn't work. Make sure you're full pedal. Get it? Yeah, you got it. Cool. That's the shot right there. Now you may not be able to do that whole run. That's perfectly fine. I would break it up into like half. And then it's gonna get hot as fuck, so you're definitely not gonna want to brace with that hand. What you're gonna do is you're not gonna go like this. Don't fucking try and wash the puddle in. Keep that directly in that 45 zone, right in that joint, and just angle the torch and push the puddle together. It should go into this little V. If it starts to boomerang like this, you need to slow down and let it go into this V. Fuck. You're going way too fast.
Too fast?
Yeah, you're not actually fusing anything. Are you going full pedal?
I think I wasn't at the beginning, but then I started.
So, I'm just sitting here, waiting for that puddle to get together. See that puddle?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm slowly moving forward.
You're holding it way back here, huh?
Yeah, I don't have gloves on. Oh. So, clean this tungsten and then try from there to there. Oh,
I was doing it right there, see?
yeah, you're going too fast or you work full pedal.
Here I lost the puddle and I kind of thought the puddle was this, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, here's some of that jalapeno ranch.
Yeah.
There. Check
Hey,
that
so
one.
that hole in the weld right there,
Yeah.
is that because you go too far away from it, or?
Yeah, your distance
Lost
to work
the
speed.
puddle.
Yeah, it's probably too far. So what happens is, as you move farther away, that arc cone, it's bigger, right? So the heat is less pinpointed, right? And when you pinpoint it, and when you don't pinpoint it, it doesn't.
I'm scared of. I just keep getting scared of fucking this thing.
Oh, you can't be afraid of that. You have to practice holding a tight arc. Like, you're gonna dip a lot. There's just no fucking way around it.
Yeah.
That's part of it, but if you practice out here, you'll never get it correct. Practice on. Okay.
That's my best one right there. So exciting and fun.
You have welded 2 pieces of metal. Sure. I have some of the first stuff I welded.
Should I weld on this side here?
You can. It's pretty tricky.
It's not the prettiest thing in the world, by any means. But Charles said it would be fun to weld these together, so I'm gonna do that. Alrighty, that concludes the first episode of Learning to Weld with Charles.
It sounds like a PBS feature.
It does, I'm Bob Ross. Yeah, so I welded a couple things together, welded some shit onto some shit. It was all fusion welding, that's a term I learned today.
Yep, fusion welding.
And I was gonna say that the most important thing I learned today was to not be scared of dipping the tungsten.
Yeah.
Because that was really fucking me up in the beginning, because I was like really scared of popping it in and then having to go over there, but like Charles said,
It's part of learning.
yeah, maybe a
So
little more of this.
we'll probably practice this
Start
a
with
bunch and then kind of make sure that you're warmed up, and then maybe we'll try and add some filler.
So if you're not, if you don't know what we're talking about, this is just fusing 2 pieces of metal together and not adding any sort of filler.
Yep, you're using the base material, otherwise known as the parent material, to fuse the 2 pieces together.
Which makes it not as strong as adding, because
There's no weld reinforcement.
yeah. So yeah, if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask Charles, you can drop them down in the comments below. He'll probably be able to respond to you. And if you'd like to see anything else further explained in the next video, we can definitely work on that. This is our first time.
It's kind of hard when you're doing tutorials. So.
Yeah, and Charles is working all day. What did you just make?
I made a wastegate flame from a piece of bar stock. So I'll show you what I started off with. I took this piece of bar stock and I turned it into this.
Wow. And how long did that take you?
It took me way too long. Way too long.
Yeah, we don't want that, so that's why the new machine's coming.
New machine.
New machine. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Charles, for learning me.
Always.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out, Girl Scout.